I'd like to start off by saying that suicide is not a solution to anything. Keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to speak briefly about the difference between being mentally exhausted and soul tired. Mental exhaustion, obviously, self explanatory. 9 to 5, people, the system, government, corporations, taxes, you get it. You get burnt out. You just become fatigued into compliance. You had enough. You just feel like you're just going through the motions. You're numb. You don't even know what day it is. Sometimes you don't even know what month it is. Maybe you don't even know what year it is. That's being burnt out mentally. Now, soul tired, that's a whole different thing right there. That's something where you, as a soul, said, I had enough of the earth and I just want out. I don't even want to be in this life anymore. And unfortunately, some people don't understand the difference. So that feeling, that sensation is so overwhelmingly powerful that they confuse it with, I don't want to live at all. And they wind up taking their life because life isn't for everybody. And that is a personal choice. Again, suicide is not a solution. But also don't forget that people who do commit suicide, they don't go to hell. That's a lie. There's a lot of people that have taken their life that do go to heaven. So everything that you hear and that you're being told about, oh, suicides, they go straight to hell, they're cowards, it's not even close to being the truth. When somebody is soul tired, the soul is saying, I don't want to be here anymore. I've had enough. I've seen all there is to see. I've done pretty much what I came here to do, and I want to go home. Home being the original source home energy planet from where you're from. Because whether you want to realize it or not, you are an alien to this planet. You are an extraterrestrial to this terrestrial plane of consciousness. Now, when you dream, your mind is in a state of unconscious slumber, and your soul departs the body and it ventures to dream state, to the divine collective. Your dreams don't come into your mind like you think. Oh, I fall asleep and I'm dreaming about my loved ones that have passed away and they're popping into my head. No, that's what they want you to think. The truth is that when you are unconscious physically, the soul departs and it leaves. And you're like, how can that be? Because isn't the soul the life force of the body? Yes, but there isn't just one soul per body. There's many. It's like a contingency. You ever wonder why it is that you have so many talents and you're really good at different things? That's because in past lives, that's what you specialized in. You know, that was your forte. You know what I mean? So you accumulate all these past lives and they collect inside the same body. So when you pass from this astral plane of existence and you go through what they call a life review, you'll see all of your past lives. Now, keep in mind, when you journey, either you pass or you're dreaming and the soul departs the body. Either way, what makes your journey different than any other is your energy and your perceptive lens. The way it is in life is the way it's going to be when you pass. It isn't going to be like this magical land like you think. You are carrying the signature of energy that's creating these experiences. That's why when somebody says, oh, I died and I saw the light, and that's just what they want you to think. For some people, that happens. But for everyone, it's always different. You can't go by with one person's account of what they call a near-death experience or out-of-body experience or anything like this. First off, death is an illusion. Death is an illusion. So just get that premise out of your head that death is a real thing. It's not. You're just transferring form. And when the soul is tired, it just wants to go home. You know, I've had enough of being incarnated in this body on this planet that's not my home. I've done everything I feel that I could do, and I just want out of here. Imagine you going to a country where you've never been before, and you've spent a considerable amount of time there. Let's say a few weeks. Seen all the sights, taken in all the places, the food, everything, the people, the culture. Okay, you've had your fill. Now what? Now what? You want to go. It's like, I've seen it already. We've been there 5 times. I don't want to do this anymore. Then where do you want to go? You want to go home. There it is. That's basically the whole premise of this video in a nutshell. That's why you get this overwhelming sensation of just disconnect from this place. Because the way it's run, who's running it, and so on and so forth. See, when you're on the parkway and you're dragging up and down, back and forth to work or whatever, that's a mental grind. What I'm talking about is something on a metaphysical, soul deep level. Meaning from the time you came here, birth, up until however you are in your journey now, however far along you are, your soul is like, all right, we're done, we're finished. So some people, they get their wires crossed and they just wind up taking their life. And again, I'm going to say one more time that suicide is not a solution to anything. I don't advocate it. I don't promote it. I don't encourage it. But for life, for some people, it isn't for them. They're like, I don't want to be here. So they, of their own volition, of their own free will, they do whatever they do to rectify that situation. I know I wouldn't. And I wouldn't advocate anyone else doing the same. But for some people, life is not meant for them. So you have to know the difference between being mentally fatigued and exhausted and physically exhausted and soul tired. Not so tired, soul, S-O-U-L. Soul tired. That goes way beyond the body. That's inexplicable. I cannot explain it in earth words. It's ineffable. That word means simply defies a verbal explanation. I can't explain something to you in a form of communication using earth words. But you'll know the difference sometimes. You get this intense desire to not want to be on the earth. And that's okay, because this is not your home. You're not the body. This life is an illusion. And it's your soul recognizing that fact. But you're here for reasons and purposes that have to be fulfilled, whatever they are. I don't believe in we've made contracts with the universe and all that. That's what they tell you. That's not my journey. When I hear stuff like that, it doesn't ring true with me. That I signed up to come here and everything that I'm experiencing I asked for. That's not true. Because I know for a fact that there's many people who are murder victims who their soul communicates and says, it wasn't my time. The person who killed me had no right to take my life. I was supposed to live a full and complete life, but they cut my life short. They deny me, my family, opportunities to do things and enjoy my life, enjoy my journey. So no, it's not even close to being the truth. So you got to take this stuff with a grain of salt. Don't take it at face value as being the absolute truth, because it's not. And again, everything in my videos, my channel, it's only my truth. I said it in the very first video that I made. There is no singular universal truth. What you're hearing from me is me expressing my connection to what you refer to as universe. My connection, one of an infinite. Yours is two, and on we go. And it's infinite. As just as much as the infinite unto itself is infinite, everything associated with it is infinite unto itself. Realities, dimensions, connections, perceptions. You get it? It's just endless. It just goes on everywhere in every direction forever and ever and ever and ever. Don't try to comprehend it with your physical mind. You won't be able to. But when you get that sensation like it's not something physical, you can't put your finger on it, that's exactly what's happening. Your soul is tired of earth and people and life and the system and governments and rules and regulations and laws and taxes, and being deceived and scammed and all of these things that just weigh on you and crush your spirit and break your heart and destroy your inner child. That's the soul saying, I had enough. I'm tired. I've been here too long. I don't want to expose myself to these things anymore. I want to go home to your original source home energy planet, wherever that is. So you have to know the difference. When the body sleeps, the soul, it takes off. It ventures away from this astral plane. And it is tethered to the physical body, which is anchored to this earth. Because if that cord is cut, you won't come back. then the body will reach terminus and assume a state of expiration, room temperature. And then it will either be buried and return to the earth or turn to ashes and return to the earth. But the soul drifts when you sleep. Your dreams don't come to you in your head. You go to them, to the divine collective dream state. That is like a nucleus where all forms of creation gather. It's a communion of all souls. Now, when I say this, I'm speaking not only of human beings, because let us not forget, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, that you as a human being are not the only one that can dream. Because all of these creatures here that have been here for billions of years before you have been dreaming long before you. So dreams are not something reserved only for human beings. I know that's shocking. And wrap your head around this one. Human beings aren't the only ones with feelings and emotions. And human beings aren't the only ones that have been given the gift of sexual pleasure. That is not reserved only for Homo sapiens. Just like this earth was not created for human beings. How could it be? I've said this before. The oldest known human is almost 4 million years old. Look at the age of the earth. So you clearly see what's going on. You know, I could use the dinosaurs as an example. They were here long before human beings. So obviously you get the bigger picture that something else is going on that you are not in control of and that you can't change, but that's a cool thing. So in closing, just recognize that when you do a 9-to-5 job, you come home, you're physically exhausted, you know, you're mentally spent. You know, that's physical exhaustion. That's mental fatigue. What I'm referring to is something that exceeds the limitations of that physical existence. This is something called soul tired, where your soul is saying to your heart, I just want out, you know? So you have to meet this in the middle at some sort of common ground and say to your soul, listen, you have to be here for us to complete these things, or else it's not going to work, because everybody has to be on the same page. Your soul, your heart, your physical mind, your aura, your essence, your presence, your being, all of it, your energy, your collective state, all of this has to be in alignment with whatever you need to accomplish here, or else you're going to wind up having to come back again. So you have to get all the members on board and say, listen, folks, we need to be on the same page. We need to do this as a concerted effort. Let's get it done. And then when we finish and complete, then we can go our separate ways. Because the soul is going to go where it's going to go, and it's not taking the body with it. When it's your time, it's your time. As I've said before, your duration that is allotted to you on this planet is never contingent upon your level of health, wellness, or fitness of the body. If you think it is, you're fooling yourself. It is not. You can be a bodybuilder, 1% body fat, all that. And if it's your time, even if you're 28 years old or whatever, you're gone. You're gone. It doesn't matter how physically fit you are. When it's your time and your time is up and your number's up, the universe is going to punch your clock and you're gone. So just appreciate the time that you're given for the things that you need to do, that you need to get them done. Even if your soul is tired, you have to make some sort of agreement with your soul to say, listen, you got to stick around. We need you. You're the biggest part of this, because without you, this isn't going to work. So I don't know how you were going to go about doing that, but you have to just bring it within yourself to say, listen, we have to come to an agreement that we are all going to be on the same page. So that's the difference between soul tired and physical exhaustion. And now you know.